Hey, what is up, guys? It is Card Shuffler 99 here, and today we're going to be showing you guys Maddox's semi-final trick on Britain's Got Talent. So we're going to be revealing that for you guys today. Feel free to let us know down in the comment section what you guys think about the video, whether or not you guys agree with the methods that we talk about here. We are going to be starting a giveaway in June, so if you guys want to get a head start in entering that giveaway, we're not exactly sure what we're going to give away yet. It's going to be announced on June 1st on this channel. It's going to be something pretty big, but we're going to let you guys choose what we give away. So just comment down below what you guys want us to give away for the month of June, and then that could be your actual entry into the giveaway. So if you do that, like this video and subscribe to the channel, you guys will be entered for the June giveaway, and we'll make sure you guys get entered for that. So don't forget, enter that if you want. Comment what you guys want us to give away for the month of June. And anyway, let's get straight into the reveal. So this is a pretty simple trick that he's going to go about doing. He does sort of 3 different stages to this trick. So he's going to start out up close on the desk with a candle, and then he's going to move on to do a stage trick, and then he's going to finish it off with his Rubik's Cube, okay? So let's start with the first part of the trick. So the first part of the trick is pretty simple. He's just going to have a candle. Now, let's not pretend like there's no self-lighting candles out there. So the candle is going to light itself. Now, if you're wondering what paper he's using to make the big flash, there's this thing in magic known as flash paper. And what flash paper does is essentially once it hits the fire, it's going to basically disappear. It's very similar to wax paper, but it's not the same. It looks very similar to wax paper, and basically what happens is once you put it in the fire, it makes this big flash, and then it completely disappears. Now that's what flash paper is, and that's what he's using. He's using little bits of flash paper to make that big flash and make it just completely disappear, right? So that's what he's doing there. Now, he did do a little subtle ring trick, where he basically pretended like he's doing sleight of hand. Now, all he's doing here is he has the ring on his ring finger, and when he does the move, he's basically just doing a sleight, and he's going to show his, I'm not going to hold it up, but he's going to show his middle finger, and that's why it looks like the ring disappeared. And then when he pretends like he's throwing it back onto his hand, then he puts his ring finger back up. You can look at that closely. You'll notice when he makes the ring disappear from his hand, he's actually holding up his middle finger, not his ring finger. And then when the ring comes back, he's showing his ring finger, okay? So that's just that part of the trick. Now, what this trick is going to revolve around is known as multiple outs, okay? Now, multiple outs is simply just like, it's a term used for a number of different scenarios in a way. So what he's going to do here is he's going to ask, he's going to start with one of the judges, and he's going to ask them to say, do you want to burn the picture cards or the number cards? Now, you'll notice you have to think about this for a second, what he actually says. So he's going to start out by saying, do you want to burn the pictures or the numbers? Now, the judge is going to say, I want to burn the picture cards. The picture cards are the Jack, Queen, and King. Okay, the judge said that he wanted to burn them. But what happened was when he put the wax paper or the flash paper into the fire and made it like, you know, the flash happened, then he moves on to the next judge and says, okay, now we're down to the Jack, Queen, and King. So he didn't even actually burn or get rid of the picture cards like the judge said. He just said, oh, you said that? I'm just going to use those cards now because this is how he's going to force his card, okay? He's going to force the Queen of Hearts. Now, you'll notice for the second judge, okay, the second judge is going to say, okay, I want to burn the males, okay? She wanted to burn the males, and what happened was he actually did what she said, and he burned the males, and then he kept the females, right? So that's different than what the first judge said. So the first judge said, I'm going to burn the picture cards, but he ended up using the picture cards. The second judge said, I want to burn the males, and he didn't use the males. He used the females, right? Because he knows I'm forcing the Queen of Hearts. Now, when it comes down to the Queen of Hearts, spades, clubs, and diamonds, this is just common knowledge. The most commonly card set in terms of those queens is the Queen of Hearts. 95% of the time, okay? Like, in terms of the queens, when you're only left with the queens, they're going with the Queen of Hearts, especially when you're talking to a female, okay? Now, that's important to note. And he had this planned out. Now, I'm sure he looked back into, you know, previous performances, and I'll tell you what, female judges tend to go towards the Queen of Hearts. Now, a lot of commonly used cards are the King, the Ace. Those are just the most commonly said cards. Now, like I said, this is multiple outs, right? So what this means is he has a different scenario for each specific card that they would have said. So, for example, if the judge had said something other than the Queen of Hearts, he would have a plan so that basically the trick wouldn't fail in a sense. So, obviously, the judge could have said any card. So, if she had said the Queen of Diamonds, he would have done something completely different, okay? But he would have tied it back in some way to that gift. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something like the card stuck on the back of the box and that he wouldn't actually let Simon open it in a sense. It could be a number of different things. He could have had the card in his pocket. It could be anything, but he's going to have a plan, and it's called multiple outs. It's something that David Blaine uses a lot. So that's how that part of the trick is done. Now we're going to move on to the second part of the trick. Now this was the stage part of the trick where he's basically going to give the illusion that she's sort of levitating in a way. Now this is weird in a sense because what happens here is the judge, or not the judge, it was the two assistants, Ann and Deck, and what's happening is they have their hands on her, and basically Maddox is going to take the hand away. Now there's really only one common explanation for this, and she's got to be held up by something, right? Whether this is a cable or it could be anything. Now let's keep in mind that Ann and Deck are directly underneath the person that they're holding up. So if there was a cable right up top, they would not be able to see it, okay? Now, she's not levitating, okay? Let's get that true. Now, and there's nothing that's holding her up from the bottom because Ann and Deck would be able to see if there's something on the bottom, right? Holding her up. So something's got to be holding her up from the top, coming down, most likely a cable or some sort of thing that's going to hold her up. I mean, there's no other way around it, right? She's got to be held up by something, and then he can just release whatever it is and take her off, right? That's how that part of the trick is done, okay? So now this leaves the last part of the trick, and you'll know, Maddox does a lot of these sort of Rubik's Cube tricks. Now this last part of the trick was pretty simple. Nothing crazy, I guess you could say here. But really all he's doing is he barely has the cube even mixed up, okay? He's going to do a 3 to 4 move combination, okay? A 3 to 4 move combination, whatever that could be. For example, now this is obviously not what he did, but I'm saying this is like 3 moves right there, okay? And he's going to have a combination that he knows that he can basically reverse really, really fast. He's literally, all he's doing is just 3 moves. It's ready to go. He knows where it is, and then he can just solve it really, really fast, okay? Now, whatever 3-move combination he used, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But what he's going to do is he's going to have a combination, 3, 4 moves, whatever it could be. Most likely 3 moves. It doesn't look like he's doing 4, but he's literally just solving it in front of people. He's not tossing it up and making it look like it just magically solved itself. He's literally just solving the cube for everybody, which is kind of weird to see. Most of the time, if you look at when Stephen Brundage, perform these things, he would do these sort of toss-up solves, and he did something like that, in his audition as well, where he did something similar to a toss-up solve. But here, he didn't do anything like that. He just had like a 3-move combination. Now, it obviously wasn't this, but you'll notice, like, when you look at it, the cube that he had really wasn't that mixed up. It wasn't mixed up at all. So really, all he's gonna have is just some sort of 3-move combination. That's just the simplest one I can come up with for you guys right here. I'm not a cube or anything, but he's just going to be able to solve it really, really fast. Let me recap really quick from the beginning of the trick. Now, keep in mind, once again, the paper he used. If you guys want to purchase that, you can go on Amazon, I believe, and mostly magic stores have it. It is typically kind of hard to find flash paper in terms of purchasing. I know there's some magic brands out there that have their own branded flash paper out there. But that's the name of it. If you go to like a magic online store, I'm sure you can find it there. It's known as flash paper. It's pretty cool. Jay Sankey has a trick with flash paper. It's called In a Flash. It's a really, really cool thing. Magicians use it all the time to create this sort of flash and make paper disappear or something like that. And it gives a really cool effect, right? Because people usually think of paper, and when they burn it, it's not going to make a flash, and it's not going to just disappear out of nowhere in thin air. And it disappears like that, really quick, right? So that was the effect. Once again, the ring, all he's going to do with the ring is simply just hold up his middle finger instead of his ring finger, and he's going to give the illusion like he took it off and just threw it back on. In reality, like I said, he's just holding up a different finger. You can go look at that for yourself. And then he's going to do the multiple outs. Like I said, he's going to have a different situation, but he knows it's going to get down to the queens, okay? He knows it's coming down to the queens. Like I said, he's going to say, oh, do you want to burn, the males or the females? And he knows it's going to be coming down to queens. He knows he's going to force the queen. If the judge had said, oh, I want to burn the females, then he would have stuck with it. He's going to be like, all right, so now we got the queens. Okay, the queens are the only female picture card, right? And he would have gone with that. He knows it's queen. He knows where every situation would have landed. So he knows that the queen of hearts was in the box. He could have had some, cards in his pocket, back of the box. It could have been under the box, anything like that. He would have done something magical, basically, in a way, to give that illusion off. But anyway, guys, that is the entire reveal. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And anyway, guys, this is Card Shuffler 99. Peace out, guys.